My name is Robert Thompson, and I'm a violinist. I currently live in China, and I've been on tour for the last 3 years, performing around Europe and the United States. I just moved to China to get married, and now I live in the Yunnan province, which is very close to Tibet and Vietnam. Recently, I was on Philip Greenspun's blog where he was wondering about a charity that said if you gave them $250, they would give a water buffalo to a poor family in Asia. But then the fine print said there was no actual water buffalo and that it was merely a symbolic gift of what $250 would buy. Where I live here in China, I see water buffaloes every day, walking down the middle of the road. I went out and asked some farmers what they thought, and they said it would be quote unquote the best gift. And they told me the price of a water buffalo is about 1 year's salary for them. So I drove back and I told Philip what I learned, and I guess he began to wonder, what if we got a real water buffalo for a real family? And he wrote me back and said, if I and my business partner Craig send you some cash, can you go out and buy one? And I said yes. So I drove to a little town called Dazhuan, and I tried to do it.
他说一头牛，杀了的话，一家人可以吃多久？Half year。他说这个水牛可以做些什么事情，为农民做些什么事情？
This is the work that a farmer has to do in order to cultivate the land if he doesn't have a water buffalo or machinery.
Okay, we found a place to buy a water buffalo for Philip, and I think it's just right over here, so we're gonna go check it out. See all the people that are assisting us today. This is our entourage. If he's 5 years old, how long can he work? He can work for 15 years.
它的名字叫什么？小高脚。
We've seen a few today, and this one looks like the best one, so I think we'll get it. So all we have to do now is find a family that could use this water buffalo, and then we're done. We're finished. Got it. This is it.
So we had to find a family, and in order to do that we had to contact an old family friend, sat down with him, and we asked him who could use a water buffalo. And his first thing he said was, there's a lot of poor families in Dazhuan. Almost everybody could use one. He did go on to tell us about one family in particular, and he said about 30 years ago a man came to Dazhuan to marry his wife and to find some work. They had a son together, and they lived with the wife's mother. Years later, the son got married and had a little baby girl of his own, but just around the same time, his father passed away. Just after the little girl was born, who is about 3 years old now, the wife committed suicide by eating pesticides. Even though the family had no money, the son wanted to bury his wife and buy a tombstone. So he went to the bank and took out a loan for 2,000 Kwai RMB, which is just a little over $200. The bank now visits him frequently and asks him to pay this money back.
我们这什么4代人，就是有死过他祖，他姑娘，他儿子，他孙子死过。
We brought the water buffalo to the Su family in Dazhuan, Yunnan. After we explained why we were here, the grandmother, Su Peilan, with her little granddaughter at her side, was speechless and in shock. She couldn't believe the magnitude of this gift and kept repeating, 我不忍心, 我不忍心啊, meaning literally, I'm not emotionally prepared to take this. We kept telling her over and over again, this is a gift from some people in the United States. It's a gift. They want to give it to you. 谢谢哥,谢谢哥. Thank you, she said. This gift is too much. It's too heavy. I think God has helped our family today. For farmers in Dazhuan, it's considered disrespectful to cry in front of guests. That's why she walked inside of her home. Yang Jiazhan, the great-grandmother in this family, is 86 years old, and she's a blind woman. She said, in her entire life, she has never received such a big gift, even from her own family. As she held her bamboo stick, she too was overcome with emotion and softly repeated, Amadia, or oh my God. The granddaughter, Su Jingmei, doesn't understand that her mother's gone, and her happiness reflects the innocence of her age.